Welcome to Mutilating News. Israel-Iran conflicts. Who will stop the carnage? A shadow cast by decades of animosity, now punctuated by direct, open conflict between two of the Middle East region's most formidable powers, Israel and Iran. What was once a shadow war fought through proxies and covert operations has breached new, dangerous thresholds. We delve into the heart of these Israel-Iran conflicts, exploring not just the military dynamics, but the devastating human cost, the intricate web of global interests, and the urgent, central question on the world's mind: who will stop the carnage? The recent direct aerial exchanges, Israel's attack and Iran's unprecedented drone and missile responses on Israel, have irrevocably altered the landscape. These actions shattered a long-held understanding, however fragile, that direct state-on-state confrontation would be avoided at all costs. Now, the world grapples with a new reality, one fraught with the peril of wider conflagration. The roots of the conflict and current military posture. To understand where we are, we must briefly look back. The animosity between Israel and the Islamic Republic of Iran is deeply rooted, a complex tapestry of geopolitical rivalry, ideological opposition, and regional power struggles. For years, this conflict played out indirectly in Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, through cyber warfare, and in the tragic assassination plots that have claimed lives on both sides. But today, the capabilities for direct harm are stark. Israel, backed by advanced Western technology, fields a sophisticated air force, a multi-layered missile defense shield, and world-class intelligence operations. Its doctrine emphasizes qualitative superiority and precision. Iran, in contrast, wields a vast arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles, a formidable drone fleet, and, crucially, a network of well-armed proxy forces across the region, most notably Hezbollah in Lebanon. This allows for an asymmetric response, capable of inflicting significant damage and creating multi-front challenges. The fear is not just of advanced weaponry, but the sheer volume and reach of potential attacks. Human cost and regional instability. Beyond the military calculus lies the undeniable human cost. Every missile launched, every siren wailed, signifies terror for ordinary families. In Israel, citizens live with the constant threat, their daily lives punctuated by the need for shelters. In Iran, the population grapples with economic hardship exacerbated by sanctions and the fear of wider conflict.
And the ripple effects extend far beyond their borders. In Lebanon, the specter of a full-blown war with Hezbollah looms large, threatening to reignite devastating past conflicts. Syria remains a battleground for proxy warfare. The stability of Iraq, Yemen, and the vital shipping lanes of the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf are all held hostage to these escalating tensions. Each escalation risks a humanitarian catastrophe, potentially displacing millions and overwhelming international aid efforts. The carnage is not just in potential direct casualties, but in the pervasive fear, the shattered economies, and the deferred dreams of an entire region. The global stakes and international response, or lack thereof. This is not merely a regional dispute. The global stakes are immense. The Middle East is the fulcrum of global energy supplies. Any significant disruption here sends oil prices soaring, fueling inflation and threatening economic recovery worldwide. Global supply chains, already fragile, face further strain. International diplomacy is in overdrive, yet appears, at times, to be struggling to keep pace. The United States, a key ally to Israel, attempts a delicate balancing act supporting Israel's security while urgently counseling restraint to prevent a wider war. European powers echo these calls, but divisions within the UN Security Council often stymie decisive, unified action. Meanwhile, other global powers like China and Russia watch with their own strategic interests in mind. Are they part of the solution, or do they see opportunity in the ensuing instability? The question of who will stop the carnage becomes increasingly complex when global powers themselves are not fully aligned. The pathways to de-escalation end. The obstacles, so we return to our central question: who can stop this dangerous trajectory? And how? Several pathways to de-escalation exist, however fraught with difficulty. Intensified diplomacy, back-channel talks, third-party mediation, perhaps by nations like Oman or Qatar, or even larger powers acceptable to both sides. The immediate goal is to re-establish red lines and mechanisms to prevent accidental escalation. Economic levers. While sanctions are already heavily in play against Iran, targeted economic incentives or pressures, if creatively applied by a united international front, could play a role, though their effectiveness is often debated.
Regional security dialogue, a longer-term, more ambitious goal, fostering a forum where regional actors, including Iran and Gulf Arab states with tacit Israeli understanding or indirect participation, can discuss mutual security concerns. This is a monumental challenge given the deep-seated mistrust. A return to nuclear diplomacy, the collapse of the Iran nuclear deal, is a significant underlying factor. A revived, stronger, and broader agreement that addresses both nuclear concerns and regional activities is seen by some as essential, though a distant prospect currently. Internal restraint. Ultimately, the decision to step back from the brink lies with the leadership in both Tehran and Jerusalem. Domestic political calculations, economic realities, and an understanding of the mutually assured destruction of a full-scale war could drive restraint, but the obstacles are formidable, deep ideological divides, decades of mistrust, powerful hardline factions on both sides, the complex web of proxy forces with their own agendas, and the persistent specter of Iran's nuclear ambitions. The fear is that the carnage may have a momentum of its own, driven by cycles of retaliation and miscalculation. The situation is fluid. There are no easy answers. The responsibility to prevent further carnage is shared. It lies with the leaders of Israel and Iran, with regional powers who can choose to fuel or dampen the flames, and with the international community, which must find the unity and political will to act decisively. The alternative is a future too bleak to contemplate, not just for the Middle East, but for a world interconnected and interdependent. There at Mutilated News, we will continue to bring you the latest developments and in-depth analysis as this critical situation unfolds. Our hope, and indeed the hope of millions, is that voices of reason and peace will prevail before the carnage escalates beyond anyone's control. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe.